Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and it's confession time. I had no idea this commander existed in March of the Machines. It wasn't until one of my players, who plays with me quite regularly on stream, a gentleman by the name of Tondel, appeared with this card, and I was like, oh, how have I missed this? Oh. Obviously, the card I'm talking about today is Orthion, the hero of Lavabrink. A 3/3 for a 3 and a red legendary human soldier. Yeah, nothing special there. 4 mana for 3/3, bit overpriced, I suppose, a little bit. But the ability, red and 1 tap, create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control. It gains haste, sack it at the beginning of the next end step, activates a sorcery, or 6 red, red, red. Create 5 tokens that are copies of another target creature you control. They gain haste. Sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. Activate only as a sorcery. Wow. I am going to be 100% honest. I have literally no idea how I missed this card in March of the Machines. And since Lord of the Rings has taken a bit of a backseat at the moment, it's time to go back and look at this. And yeah, I think this is a fun card that I've just completely missed, and I think it's gone under a lot of people's radar. I can't find anything else about it anywhere, really. So here's my take on Orthion. Very simple, mono red deck. A lot of stuff in here. I'll just point out 40 creatures, 22 other spells, 37 lands, most of which are mountains. I'm going to be honest about it. We haven't gone too fancy. Have got Shrine of Nixos in here. Shrine to Nyx in here though, because we are mono red. The Crucible of Defiance is also here, just so we can get some spirits if we need some blockers instantly. Temple of the False God and Valakut. No point playing this deck without Valakut with the amount of basic mountains I'm playing. The rest of it, Command Tower, just because, I don't know, I put it in. Doesn't need to be here, it could just be a mountain. Dwarven Mines here, maybe we get a little blocker out of it, and the Mines of Moria, just to give us some treasure to cast things. The ramp side, I kept fairly straight for a change. Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Jeweled Lotus, because I want the opportunity to get down our wonderful commander on turn 1. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and Fire Diamond. That's it. And then I'm going to cast Ruby Medallion as a bit of ramp spell, because it does cost our cost down by 1. Obviously, the medallions are coming back out in the Command and Master set in a few weeks' time. Oh, no. Next week. Where am I now? I'm there. Yeah. Not this Friday, the Friday afterwards that I'm thinking about. It will be out. And yeah, Ruby Medallion will come back and hopefully come down in price. But what I've tried to do with this deck, because we don't have the legendary sideline on here saying, legendary rule does not apply. I've tried to limit the number of legendary creatures we have in here. We still have a few, I'm not going to argue. But I've tried to keep them down to a reasonable level. So, really because when we cover them, we don't want to have to choose our legends. We just want to copy those creatures and get in for the attacks. So, here we go. The first non-ramp card at 0 is Wheel of Fate, because obviously just do need to draw cards, discard a hand, draw 7's fine. Might as well do it this way. Wheel of Fate is a little bit cheaper than some of the other options. Fervent Champion, if we can make copies of it, pumps itself up and the other knight that's attacking with it. Goblin Arsonist, when it dies, and notice it's sacrifice, not exile, so this works. Ping something for 1. Pulsive Pilferer gives us treasure tokens. Lightning Bolt is just a little bit removal in case we need it. Raging Goblin comes with haste. Strike it Rich gives us a token, a treasure token, and Elixir of Immortality lets us shuffle it all back in if we need to. Battlecry Goblin gives all our goblins haste and a bit of a pump, and hopefully we get some tokens out of it. And it's quite nice if we have this guy on the go and making a whole load of token copies. Dockside Extortionist gives us all those treasures. That's going to be the main thing you're going to copy. Goblin Instigator comes into play, gives us another goblin. Humble Defector. I was dreaming. Yeah, I know. I'll make 5 copies of Humble Defector. I will draw 10 cards. I will then pass those Humble Defectors all around the board and watch them vanish so you don't get the benefit. Yeah, okay then. Lightning Strike. 3 damage to something. Loyal Apprentice gives us a colourless Thopter artifact creature token with flying. It gains haste until the end of turn on combat. We've got Orthion in play. Robber of the Rich gets in. We get something out of the top of their library and see if we can get something useful. And Wily Goblin enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Another great one to hit the copies off to ramp our mana up with. Arnie Metalbrow is the first one of the legendaries to appear in the deck. Whenever a creature you control attacks or a creature enters the battlefield under control, pay 1 and a red if you do. Put a creature with mana value, you know what it does. I've done a deck tech on it. Go and look the deck tech up. Basically, it's just a way of cheating some of our creatures in play if we need to. Captain Landary Storms here, just do the whole treasure token bit. Chaos Warp to get rid of something that's annoying us, and hopefully we don't give them something even more annoying. But you can save your own creatures if you need to. Bear it in mind. Combat Celebrant. Yeah, let's make 5 tokens of it and then go into the attack step. And if it hasn't been exerted this turn, you may exert it when it attacks. So exert the original one, don't exert the copies. They come and untap. Another one, maybe you get to untap Orthion. You get to do the whole thing again and again and again and again. As long as you've got the mana to do it, that's really good. Thank you very much. Exhibition Magician enters the battlefield. Choose one. Get some green-white citizen creature tokens or a treasure token. Jessica's Will, we all know what Jessica's Will does by now. Legion War Boss gives us more gobos. Caesar Spoils draws us cards, gives us treasure token. Sin Prodder, at the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. Any opponent may have you put that card into your graveyard. If that player does, it deals damage, otherwise you get it in your hand. So quite a nice way of drawing some extra cards, especially if you can activate it in your upkeep before it triggers. Or somehow, if you end of the untap step, maybe activate it, get a load of copies. And Menace isn't a bad one to be trying to deal with. Valakut Awakening, it gives us another way of having a land in play and another way of filtering through our deck. Anger, we want to get in the graveyard any way we can to make sure all our creatures have haste forever. Fanatic of Mogus, Devotion to Red, deals the damage. It deals damage to each opponent equal to your Devotion to Red. Copy that 5 times, watch people cry. Flametongue Karvu blows up something that's got full toughness or less. Paragon of the Fierce Defiance just pumps our creatures up another way, giving things haste. Porphyros is Porphyros, does the damage when the creatures come into play. Wildfire Devils enters the battlefield, and at the beginning of your upkeep, choose a player at random. That player exiles an instant or sorcery card from their graveyard. Cast that card. You may cast that card without paying its. You may cast that copy without paying its mana value. Cost. Yeah, okay then. Atushi, just a way of giving us some extra treasures, is one of the few ones I'm quite happy to copy with Orthion, because we do end up ahead if we copy Atushi, just so we're clear on treasure, because it costs us 2 mana, we end up with 3 treasure, so we're up by 1. Chain Reaction to control the board. Hellrider, just to get some damage in when things attack. Making 5 copies of this does give people quite big nightmares. Hero of Oxted Ridge, just a big thing that says attacks creatures with power 1 or less can't block this turn, so you know, and it pumps everyone up with the battle cry ability. Unexpected Windfall does the whole card draw treasure ramp, and then Nyx Lotus gives us more mana due to our devotion levels. Bala must, whenever it attacks or dies, choose 1 or more. Each mode must target a different player. Target opponent draws 3 cards and discards 3 cards at random. If you've got 5 of these attacking, it's a bit nasty. Target opponent sacrifices a non-token artifact. Bala deals damage to target opponent equal to the number of cards in their hand. Imagine 5 of them going in. That'll upset people. Burn down the house, control the board, will give us some devils. Glory Bringer, 5 copies, 20 damage at any non-target dragon creatures an opponent controls. Thank you. Terror of the Peaks. Yeah. They all see each other. If you do 5 copies of it, they all see each other, and it gets very complicated, and you do win the game, basically. Bear that in mind. Urbras gives everything haste, stops all our opponent's creatures attacking us for a turn. And the Volatile Arsonist attacks if it deals 1 damage to up to each of 1 target creature and all target player and a 1 planeswalker. And then when you flip it, you get to do the shock thing. So it's a ping or a shock. Flayer of the Hate Band enters the battlefield, or another creature enters the battlefield from your graveyard. That creature deals damage equal to its target, power to any target. Yeah, okay then. Hellkite shocks or pings when mountains enter play. Well, non-mountains shock, ping, mountain shock, which is great. Flame Blast Dragon, just another way of having a whole load of mana we can pump into things if we can make copies. Inferno Titan is the best thing in the world to copy. 5 copies is 15 damage. You get to choose where it goes. Tyrant of Kerr Ridges is another one that's great to copy. That actually gives you 20 damage for 5 4s of 20. I'm good at maths, me. Yeah, which is quite nice. And then the Burning Sun's Avatar enters the battlefield and deals 3 damage to target opponent or planeswalker, up to 3 damage to one target creature. Another great one to copy because that's 15 damage to an opponent or a planeswalker. It'll be 15 damage to an opponent, wouldn't it? And 15 damage to one target creature, which will probably kill most things that aren't indestructible. Brass's Bounty gives us some treasures fun. Balefire Dragon, if we can deal combat damage, just deals that much damage to each creature that player controls, so it gives you kind of another extra board wipe once we get there. Bloodfire Colossus, 1 sack it, deals 6 to each creature in each player. If you're behind, you can probably draw the game at this stage. Uvatari Hellkite, whenever a dragon creature you control attacks, get a 6/6 dragon into play. Nice. And Blasphemous Act to control the board a little bit. But I still don't think this is the strongest version. I really do want to sit and see if I can make this more like a CEDH deck. I think it's out there. Don't think I've quite got it there yet. But Orthion, I'm so glad got played against me by 99% sure it's Tondel. If it wasn't Tondel and it was one of the other guys, I'm really sorry. I will put a disclaimer and an apology in this video description at some stage if you're watching this. But I can't believe I missed this, and it's such a great card. It is going to be, in my opinion, a card that takes over at CEDH at some stage, just because of how strong it is for copying everything. And it's going to need a bit more cards in red. I understand that, but my gear, this is just unbelievably good. So I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Tomorrow on Thursday, I start to look at some of the Commander Masters Legends coming out. So hopefully you'll come back and watch that. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already, now you've made it to the end of the video, please do so. Help me out. Help me get up to 500 subscribers so I can actually start getting a little bit of dosh from YouTube on the videos I've put in some of the adverts I've put in some of my older videos. Apologies, I'm tongue-tied today. And let me know in the comments what you thought. If you think I've missed something, let me know. If you didn't like the video, let me know as well, so I can try and make them better as things go along. But that's it for me today. Take care. Hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully you'll watch tomorrow's one. Okay, take care. Bye.